About to watch is the documentation of an entire life. An individual with a randomly assigned name and identity was placed into a geometric survival simulation. His motor abilities translated through a keyboard and mouse interface. The events and lives that preceded this one are not in focus, nor future events which, from this perspective, would never happen nor hold any bearing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is One Life Only. Hello and welcome. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Gold Vision, and today we're playing Planetside 2. Playing a little One Life Only. If you haven't seen this before, it's basically a game I made up where I play as a new character, randomly generated, and then we see how far you can make it in the harsh reality that is the world of Planetside 2. Hello to everybody who's joining me live for this. It's hopefully going to be a relatively interesting experience. Looks like the this particular what you are about to watch is not it's not aligning itself, but now it is. So now we're here at the random name generator. It's set up to use mythology, ancient names, and then a variety of alternatives. It's just going to pick a random name from these, including a random surname. And whatever it is, we're going to stick with it. There's something of a backstory as well. Okay. Clothildis Elvira. It's a feminine name. It's an adolescent person. It's German. And it's from Württemberg, Germany. Baden-Württemberg, Germany. I don't personally know German, but I hope that comes into play. An estimated lifespan of 87 years and the age of 15. So before we pick one of the factions, I wanted to also let a random number do that as well. There doesn't seem to be strong enough bias anywhere here to pick which faction should be joined, and it seems like a strange bias anyway, so I'm going to click generate, and there it is, 3. It's the Terran Republic again. Connery, of course, due to my location. And let's see if we can learn to spell this name, because I don't think the copy and pasting is working as intended. No, there it is. Awesome. And it seems like a feminine name, which I don't know which one of these persons represents a Germanic person. But we'll just start off with well, no, you know what? Look at this problem solving. And I think I just generated a 3. So 1, 2, 3. I think I might solve as many problems as I can with the random number generator. And there's no way to avoid it. I don't think. No way to avoid the tutorial. So we'll have to do the skip through you might be familiar with. There's a well, there's a comment from JSB36 saying that they don't expect her to get to level 87. And I said it, level 87. Oh.
This is a virtual reality training area designed to get you up to... Use your movement keys to move forward, backward, and sidestep to the left or to the right.
Yes, sir. All right.
Use the mouse to turn and to look up and down.
Okay. Yes. Anyone who's morbidly unfamiliar, there's a mouse movement left, right. It's kind of peaceful and nice here, I guess. Left, right, and then W, A, S, and D. These are important things just to know, and I feel like this is part of. I already forgot her name. Clothildis. Clothildis. It should show up somewhere. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go to the map, and we're going to jump. We're gonna redeploy. Join combat worked at one point, but not just yet. comment suggesting I might not be able to get out of VR training zone. But I think I'm having there's an opportunity here. Oh no, I'm forced to start in the tutorial again. No, that can't be true. There we go. We'll enter the queue. And it looks like we've got wow, there's a wait of about a minute. 43 seconds. Oh, that was the fastest 43 seconds I've ever experienced. If you're unfamiliar with the rule set that I've set before, it's here. There's permadeath enabled. Well, not enabled. There's no way to actually do that. But I set it. I will delete the character if she does not survive to the end of this continent capture. And that's pretty much the whole gist of the whole thing. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you weren't here last time, this is what it looked like when I at the 6:17 moment. Let's see. I cannot see. Oh.
Hello, my name is Helen, and I want to join your party. Let's do stuff.
And that's the end. Oh man.
Can I join you?
Like I said, it's not a safe world out there. I don't advocate
I swear to God,
flying around by
I'll help
yourself, especially with so many skilled and talented pilots out there.
you. By the name of Terra,
What was
do my best.
Just turned down for a second. So, as you can see, this was a terrible death that I didn't enjoy very much. I was shot not out of the sky, mind you. I had landed, was waiting around, in friendly territory, and then I was attacked, and I jumped back in, trying to escape, only to be shot down and killed after a minute or 4 minutes and 30 seconds of playing. So that was unfortunate for poor Branimir Niftarik. But I think we've got a better future here for, once again, get a name. Clothildis. I'm gonna try saying it out loud. So anyway, the goal I realized last time was also to not die, and it was really focused on death. And I think that's a bad use of time and mental energy to focus on not dying. And instead, I think that we should focus on having a fulfilling life out here in the world. Because you can spend all your time thinking about dying or trying to avoid it or trying to stay alive as long as you can, but really I think the goal should be to have an amazing time and a fulfilling life, so that way you can enjoy the whole thing from beginning to end. Also, L turns off the laser pointer of your gun, and I've bound F11 to turn off the gun entirely. I hope that the man who was speaking earlier found somebody to join. I think that was an important part of this game. In fact, I think I too will, after I disable the tutorial settings. They're just objectives. Maybe they're just permanently on, or maybe they're on a different screen. Or maybe we'll just keep them on for now. Or maybe, you know what? That's all very reasonable requests. So, since I've never done it before in One Life Only, I'll start off and change my class at a equipment terminal to a heavy assault, completing that directive and getting some kind of points, I'm assuming. No certs, obviously. Join combat from the map screen and redeploy from the map screen. Now I can't redeploy because that's against my rule in basic training, but I could join combat as well. Which isn't technically redeploying. But that also seems like a setup for instant death. Which is something that we're trying to avoid here. So I'm going to avoid making the 2 mistakes that I made last time. Starting off in Mosquito. This time I'm not going to get on the ground and look at the map and start explaining things while I'm in hostile territory and under attack. And 2, I'm going to keep my headphones in the right ears. Just double checked. Alright. So there's a recommendation to be a bus driver and also to be an ant driver, which are both actually pretty good options. But right now I feel like I want to see and kind of provide my optimism, positive energy to parts of the battlefield that can be most useful. See, I'm flowing straight to this area. Crossroads Watchtower. There's a lot of conflict going on. So, I guess in some ways I've arrived at my destination. That right there. And once I'm safely within the confines of this base, I'm going to go ahead and join up with a squad. Hopefully they're in the same place. No, they're disorganized and they seem to be... Actually, this is some hyper-organization. In fact, I feel bad for anybody who is watching this and is on the Planet Republic, because that was just intel, I guess, of some sort. Public intel about the whereabouts of various agents in different parts of the map. The current score is 39 to 43 to 17. With that's the control percentage. And we're here at the Crossroads Watchtower. Gonna make some basic observations from hopefully a good viewpoint. The sun is setting. Good evening.
Hostile max identified.
That's soldier here. Valve flash. Overlooking Crossroads Watchtower. Looks like there's only mild conflict here. Mild combat. I can add my positive energy too. And we have a Sunder here that was just destroyed. And most of the conflict's going to be taking place on this border line here. Between the Snake Ravine Lookout, TI Alloys, and the Crown, which is my designated target. The Crown. I also still have the objectives to meet, but I'm not going to focus on those just yet. I would like to help with various missions, but I don't know what assistance I could actually do. I think they're just waiting there. There's a recommendation to become a peaceful space trucker. And if I could be perfectly honest, I think that this game could use what I think is, I call it downtime. This game is mostly always being up and running and moving forward and taking things down, taking over bases and moving the front lines or whatever the squad is doing, which I'm trying not to broadcast that to publicly to the world, but what I think there should be is more civilian efforts on the side. And there is the ant. It's true. The ant is a more civilian role for the supply chain and providing victory points to the team that collects the crystals through the ant system. But the custom bases aspect is actually somewhat civilian as well. But I personally don't have a lot invested in the custom bases. I would like to see one, if there's one around. It looks like there is. Right up here. A pretty low efficiency one though. And the TR Hive at Howling Pass checkpoint has become active. There's so much going on, and I'm really just kind of absorbing the vibes of what's happening. Trying to appreciate my place on the battlefield. Serving as a lookout here at the watchtower. I do want to get in and help my teammates in ways that I can. And it looks like we could probably pull a Sunderer up to the Snake Ravine lookout. Now, a Sunderer is a spawn point, a mobile spawn point. In a different iteration of Planetside, it was called the AMS.
Thanks.
Advanced Mobile Spawn Point. And it looks like my squad leader's here too. But I can go ahead and use this way. I don't have any certification points, which are used to unlock the various chassis and armor options. But hopefully we'll accumulate some. I do have 200 nanites, which are required to purchase these vehicles for their one-time use. And I have actually 750 nanites, which are used to purchase them. And I will not be getting a Prowler, a Lightning, or Harasser, but a Sunderer. Nanites regenerate over time. As you see, I was debited 200 nanites at the bottom left of the screen. And now I have 550, but that number will increase over time, according to my participation, and allow me to purchase more vehicles, whatever other resources require nanites, which range from various mines, tools, and consumables, which you can find in the game. I'm trying to look out. I'm trying to be extra vigilant, more so than I typically am. When I normally play Planetside, I go right into the battle. I start fighting as soon as I can. I die a bunch, and then I kind of get a lay of the land and understand what's happening. We've got a problem. It's just a rocket launcher user. But the bigger problem is that he knows of my whereabouts. That seems like another problem. This is actually a pretty deadly endeavor, and I should have started off as a engineer. Oh, how did I got moving so fast? Certainly hope he doesn't know about my predicament. Chase me down. this is gonna bode well. I am being hunted. Absolutely. In case you're wondering, I don't attack other players.
Enemy light assault in the area.
Hostile light assault trooper. Resolve that. I move back in. Try to get another Sunderer. But that was a pretty dramatic move, and a lot of efforts in Planetside can be frustrating like that, with random players in random places ruining random plans. But the key is to not give up just at the first sign of difficulty, because there's a lot of first signs of difficulty. Looks like we have a custom base out here, which is operable. Maybe not. I don't know if we might have bugged out or something. It doesn't look like the space is as operable as ideal. And I would like to team up with my squad, but they're doing something elaborate. Observe some of this chaos. Maybe I'll head back to Xenotech. Is that a harasser taken out? I was very fortunate to have that ally come up and engage with that rocket launcher user. Also, I normally play as Vanu, so whenever I hear the sound, I think it's it's an enemy cloaking soldier. In this case, though, it's Clothildus working toward the collectivist nation's goals of taking over the world and reuniting everybody, all under one name. Let's check out the standings before we jump right back into this. I should be safe for a second. Snake Ravine. This is a big conflict area. I've been at Xenotech Labs a lot in my time on the side. Maybe I'll go with that. There's a much more tricked out version of this area. But perhaps there's power in numbers. It's actually probably a heavy theme for Planetside in general. Okay. He's taking that spot, so I'm going to take it a little bit farther away. You see the red circle. The players of Planetside are actually very familiar with the environment. I'd say very, very familiar. And it's not subject to too much change. Wow, we already lost this one. So knowing the battlefield can become a very important part of strategy and survival in this. It's best to place Sunder as a supply chain format. There's a natural disadvantage of not having one that cloaks. It's going to be difficult to just sneak them up here. And we're going to keep bringing them in, obviously. Try to encourage players. Encourage players to come to this this deadly place. That's the end of Clothildus. I got one person to appear at that Sunder spawn point. Sorry, everybody. That was that's what happens when you pull Sunders into the middle field. Honestly, that was just strong efforts trying to pull the supply chains, trying to bring people to Snake Ravine Lookout. I really shouldn't have picked a three-way battle with the goal of surviving, because these are always very conflicted. I was killed by a Vanu tank in NC territory, but I think I did help out in the battle just a little bit. I really should have picked a more populated area, more better defended area, instead of soloing so often. But moving with the front will hopefully at least encourage more conflict here, distracting it from the other parts of the Terran Empire and the other players who will continue to respawn and survive will be able to move in and conquer the continent of Indar successfully. This worst part right here. I want to thank everybody for watching. There was a lot of cool visuals. The parts with the planes exploding overhead was pretty fantastic, and just being in the middle of the conflict was stressful, especially from a more defensive perspective. I'm rethinking the things that I did. I might have wanted to have left the squad and joined one that was more clearly grouped up for the particular endeavors that I wanted to engage in. I got 1 credit for AMS support, but other than that, Clothildus Elvira didn't make it to life level age 87, but maybe in another life she'll be okay. Well, we'll find out then. My name is Gold Vision. Thank you for watching. This was One Life Only, and I'll see you later.